In this video, we are going to find the domain of a function symbolically and confirm it with a graph. Our problem is f of x equals square root of 15 minus 3x. So this is a radical function. And with a radical function, we know the radicand, what's underneath the radical, in order to be a real number, must be greater than or equal to 0. That is, it can't be negative. So in our problem, that means 15 minus 3x must be greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to solve this inequality, and that'll tell us what the domain should be for this radical function. So I'll start by moving the 15 from the left side to the right by adding its opposite. That'll leave a negative 3x is greater than or equal to, moving that 15 over again makes it become a negative 15. And then we're going to divide both sides by a negative 3. I'm going to write that because there's a couple things we have to pay attention to here. So dividing both sides by a negative 3 on the left, those will divide out and we'll be left with x. But there's something you must recall when dividing both sides of an inequality by a negative number. When you do this, you have to remember that the multiplying or dividing by a negative changes the sign of something and therefore would change the direction of the inequality. It was greater than or equal to, but dividing by that negative 3 turns that around to make it be less than or equal to. And then negative 15 divided by negative 3, paying attention to the signs, that would leave us with a positive 5. So what we found is that x is less than or equal to 5. And if we were to put that in interval notation, we have to remember, let's just sketch this out quickly. Here's our 5. And we want all the numbers less than or equal to, so that's everything to the left. It includes the equals, so that's a bracket. So if we put this in interval notation, we're starting, going left to right, at negative infinity. And again, we don't include the infinity, so that's why it's a parenthesis. And we're ending at 5, including 5. So it'll be a bracket. So that will be our domain for this radical function. That is, all the numbers less than or equal to 5. So if we take a look at the graph, we should see that bear out in the graph. So here we see the graph, and you can notice that the graph is going off to the left, which would indicate the negative infinity, and it ends right here at 5. So we can see the graph going from negative infinity off to the left, through all the numbers in between, ending at 5. So that confirms our domain that we came up with symbolically.